Well, what's in the food your children eat? That's exactly what the Healthy Living Alliance wants to start interrogating. It's launched the Think Inside the Box campaign to draw attention to harmful ingredients in processed foods. It comprises sculptures at popular foods, but shows exactly what's inside them. Let's discuss this with healthy food choices with Makoma Bopape from the University of Limpopo. Good morning to you. Let's first expand on this campaign titled Think Inside the Box. What are you hoping to trigger in people and to start a conversation with regards to this campaign?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. So what we are aiming to achieve with this campaign is we want to stimulate our thinking around what exactly are we putting inside our bodies, and particularly inside our children's bodies. That is what this campaign is aimed at. So what is happening at the moment is the Department of Health has issued out a regulation. And with the regulation, what we are trying to do now is we are trying to put big warning labels at the front of the food packaging to alert South Africans, to warn South Africans of the dangers that are associated with consuming certain food items. So what we are doing now is we are saying, South Africans, let us seriously start to think about what is inside the boxes, inside the cups, inside the tubs that we buy from all the supermarkets. What is it that is doing to our bodies? Yes.
Makoma, let's unpack some of these stats. I saw in your press release that you said a 2018 study found that almost 80% of food in supermarkets are ultra-processed and somewhat unhealthy. Let's just unpack those stats and figure out what we are actually putting into our bodies.
Okay, so in 2018, a national survey was conducted, and what we did was we went into big supermarkets in South Africa to look at the number of packaged food that contain high levels of sugar, high levels of salt, high levels of saturated fats. And what we found was the majority of packaged foods that we find on the shelves in supermarket is actually ultra-processed, and unfortunately, most of the unprocessed food does contain those food items. And sadly, those are the kind of food that we stack in our cupboards. Those are the type of food that we eat on a daily basis. Those are the type of food that has become staples, in inverted commas, in our households. And what that actually means is on a daily basis, we are stacking our bodies with a lot of sugar, with a lot of salt, with a lot of fat, and unknowingly so, because we are not able to make sense of the nutritional information that is currently presented on those food packages.
So you are calling for clear and visible package warning labels to be placed on the front of products. How hopeful are you that this will ultimately discourage people from eating super processed foods and make healthier choices?
Well, the hope that we have is a lot of South Africans are enlightened. A lot of people want to eat healthily. A lot of people are interested in knowing what is contained in our food. But unfortunately, we are being limited by the information that is presented on the food packaging. And unfortunately, what is currently happening is a lot of people are suffering or even dying from non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases. And we are being hopeful that when such simple information is put out there for consumers to be able to see and interpret, we are hopeful that because of the interest in nutrition and because of what we are seeing in terms of health, in the health arena, people would be interested in looking and actually using the labeling.
Well, this is definitely a very important conversation, because I think so often people just make impulse decisions when choosing what to eat, maybe something that's convenient and something that's easy to get a hold of, like fast food perhaps. So it's very important to try and change the mindset and change behavior. And you guys are trying to do this by installing these centerpieces around the Santon train, if I'm not mistaken. Just talk to us about those centerpieces and how you're going to use those to change this mindset.
So what we're doing currently, over and above the centerpieces in Gautrain, we have put up billboards in the major cities, and we know the importance and the significance of what you see, you don't forget. And our aim is, as we see them while driving past, and as we see them in busy areas like Gautrain, what we are saying is, as you see this, please think deeply about this. And we are saying, please think carefully about health implications related to what you are seeing, and specifically to talk to what it's put there at Gautrain. There is a big childlike 3D image of a child in a wire form, and inside the wire image, we have put several packages of what we call, or what is unhealthy. And we are saying to people, we are saying to consumers, look at this child, look at all these different packages that are inside here, because it's sweets, it's cereal boxes, it's crisps. And we are saying all this that we are putting in the child's body, what is it that is doing to them? Because the truth is, whatever habits that we initiate in childhood, certainly this carry through into adulthood. And if we don't change now, it means we are now setting ourselves into a generation that will be eating unhealthily, and unfortunately worsening the non-communicable diseases and the obesity rates that we are now seeing in the country.
It's a very important conversation, Makoma, and I hope that this will indeed enlighten South Africans and open their eyes to be more vigilant when it comes to the food that we are putting into our bodies, and how we can make healthier choices. And very important for that front of package warning label to maybe try and encourage us to eat more healthy options. That was Makoma Bopape from the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, University of Limpopo.